What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and just when you thought that things could not get any worse for Bud Light, what do? They go and get worse. Boy, oh boy, is it getting worse. It's kind of mind-blowing just to see how far this has gone, but now we have a few U.S. senators calling for an investigation into Bud Light, or more specifically, calling for an investigation into Bud Light's partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. You see, just like I've been telling you all throughout all of these videos, my main problem with that partnership between the two is that Dylan Mulvaney literally makes videos and content to appeal to little kids. So when Bud Light partnered with them, it's just like Bud Light partnering with Barney. Think of turning on Nickelodeon and you see SpongeBob with a Bud Light can, twirling around with Patrick, influencing your underage little kids to drink beer. That would be a problem, right? That would be unethical, right? I don't think that would be allowed. Think of you turning on the Disney Channel and Mickey Mouse is cracking open a Bud Light with Goofy in a Bud Light commercial geared specifically towards little kids. That's the same as this ad, and I know that for a lot of people it's hard for you to view it that way. Because when you see Dylan Mulvaney, you see a grown man pretending to be a little girl. And it's hard for people to realize, wait, this content that I'm looking at, whatever this garbage is, this is actually what is viewed as entertainment for kids these days. Yes, there are a lot of woke white women who put on Dylan Mulvaney for their kids. And I'm a white person, but we got to call it what it is. A lot of these woke white people, they're taking it too far. So when you look at these Dylan Mulvaney ads and you look at them like, oh, gross, who would watch this? Well, apparently, a lot of little 11-year-old and 12-year-old and 9-year-old girls and boys whose parents are trying to turn them into girls watch Dylan Mulvaney. It's sickening, it's maddening just to think about it. But it's reality, folks. Get used to the reality that we're living in. This is not a parody. This is not a video game. This isn't just something you see on the internet. This is the reality that we all have to live in now, because people have allowed things to go too far. So when I see these senators calling for an investigation into Bud Light, I understand why. Because you can't promote beer to little kids. And by choosing Dylan Mulvaney as a sponsor, or choosing to sponsor Dylan Mulvaney, you're advertising to little kids. And the person behind this ad campaign acknowledged herself that she was trying to reach a younger audience. If you look at the audience that Dylan has, it's all people, the majority of them are all under the age of 13. Now, last time I checked, you had to be 21 to buy beer. You don't have to be 21 to chop your tits off, but hey, that's a subject for another day. Let's go ahead and dive into this article. Senator Ted Cruz is calling for an investigation of Bud Light's brand partnership with Dylan Mulvaney amid a multi-week uproar over a branded post the company presented with the social media influencer. In a joint letter to Anheuser-Busch CEO and Beer Institute Chairman Brendan Whitworth, the Texas Republican joined with Tennessee Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn asking Whitworth and the Beer Institute's Code Compliance Review Board to open up an investigation to review the company's marketing partnership with Mulvaney over concerns the company violated the Beer Institute's advertising marketing code and buying guidelines prohibiting marketing to individuals younger than the legal drinking age. While the senators didn't cite specific demographic data for Mulvaney, the senators argue that Instagram and TikTok skew heavily towards younger audiences and that Mulvaney, who is 26, produces content largely tailored towards younger audiences, thereby creating an environment in which any alcohol-related content would be seen by younger people. Though Bud Light's partnership was shared on Instagram, a leaked presentation cited in the senator's letter about TikTok user demographics showed approximately 17% of platform users are aged 13 to 17, while 42% are 18 to 24. Figures they said made it more than likely Mulvaney's content would be seen by young people. But the senators also raised past comments by Alyssa Heinerscheid, Bud Light's former vice president of marketing, who said, "If we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light," as an alleged sign that the company was willfully marketing to minors. Though the evidence was largely circumstantial, the senators argued both platforms. Demographic data overwhelmingly shows Mulvaney's audience skewed significantly younger than the legal drinking age, thereby violating the Beer Institute's advertising marketing code and buying guidelines, which specifies advertising placements may only be made in settings where at least 73.6% of the audience is expected to be adults of legal drinking age. The general demographics of Instagram and TikTok, combined with the prepubescent content for girls pushed by Dylan Mulvaney and informed by comments from Anheuser-Busch's VP for marketing regarding younger drinkers, should have provided overwhelming evidence to the Beer Institute that Anheuser-Busch's sponsored social media influencer advertising had both the design and effect of marketing an adult beverage product to an audience whose composition was less than 73.6% of individuals of legal drinking age, thus violating the standards required by the Beer Institute. So long story short, they got him from every direction. We got Mulvaney here, whose audience we know largely consists of I am having a hard time with these words today. Whose audience consists of mainly prepubescent little girls and little boys. Then you have the demographics of Instagram and TikTok, the places where they shared this ad. The majority of people using Instagram and TikTok are all under the legal drinking age. Add that with Alyssa Heinerscheid's comments about wanting to reach younger drinkers and wanting to reach a younger audience, and I think you have a recipe here. You know what I mean? You got all of the ingredients to show that this ad campaign was it's blatantly obvious that this ad campaign was directed at young kids. This ad campaign was not even directed at 17 and 18-year-old teenagers who were probably already drinking, like most of us were when we were that age. No. These ads were targeting 13, 14-year-olds who are already going through problems in their life. I gotta believe that if you're a kid and you're watching Dylan Mulvaney, you already got a lot of problems on your hand. And you probably don't need to be drinking any alcohol. Imagine a kid willfully wanting to watch Dylan Mulvaney's content. Imagine what that kid must be going through mentally, spiritually, to even lead them down a path where they view Dylan Mulvaney's content as entertaining and informing. Mind you, there's nothing informing about his content. It's just a bunch of propaganda and lies trying to promote things that I'd rather not even talk about on this channel. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.